to take accounting. That's your problem. Too much of these humanities. You want to hold, please?
Sure.
Don't get me fired up today.
Yeah, I'm working on you now.
You're talking.
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
This is City Councilman Kaz Kwiatkowski with
Ron Stemka.
and my good friend Corey. Go ahead.
Corey Valancourt.
And we'll get to you. Don't worry, Corey.
I'm just going to sit here and keep you two separated.
This might be a fight today. Go ahead, caller.
Baby.
Hey, if there's going to be a fight there, I'm hoping I can be able to see it.
Well, this is going to be better than the, what's that one that Bizarro has?
Knockout homelessness.
Yeah, knockout homelessness. We might have one here for charity.
Butler, yeah.
Stemka and I are going at it already.
Hey, I see they got that building almost knocked down on 16th Street. You can see the houses and that over there.
Yeah, how
and
many?
I was just wondering, they're going to tear that smokestack down too?
You know, the last I heard was they're only tearing down what they have to until they make a decision.
Oh, okay.
They're supposed to, and I'm not, as of now, the last I heard was they didn't do a complete job. They have to seal it off, you know, the rest of the building.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something, when you tear down smokestacks, that's not a pretty thing.
No.
They have a lot of stuff in there you don't want to talk about,
Yeah.
you know, depending on what they did. There was years ago, they were going to, remember the one on the Bayfront?
Yeah.
The one that's still there by the library?
Yeah, it's still there, yeah.
There was some talk about, like on New Year's, taking it down with a blast. You know?
Yeah.
But then they discovered that what's inside there, you don't want to be spreading through the atmosphere, you know, so. Now the Kohler one, I don't know how they got away with that unless that wasn't really,
They dynamite.
that might have been cleaner when they took that one down, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they blew it up.
Yeah, they did.
I was wondering if they'll dynamite that to bring it down.
Oops, excuse me 1 second.
All right.
Oop, can you take over a minute?
I'll let you take over.
All right. I guess me and Stemka are in charge now. What are we going to talk about?
We're talking about that water bill.
All right. Why don't you? I don't know if the viewers caught any of the beginning of the show, but why don't you just tell them what you told me?
Okay, the water department got another bill. They're still charging us that $35 for fee for making the bill out. Okay, and my bill was $129 for the fee, and the fee's like $35. Okay. And why are we getting charged? You figure you've got 10,000 homes in Erie. It's around figures. Okay, times 35. That's $350,000 every quarter you get for doing nothing. I just like to know if anybody else has some opinions about this. And the CEO gets $180,000. Now, that doesn't sound right because Erie's a distraught city. So if anybody has any questions, call in.
Need that number you see on your screen there, 870-1284, if anybody wants to talk about the water billing procedures. I know Kaz has some strong opinions about this as well.
No, not strong. It's reality. I mean, that's what it is, you know. I didn't agree with what they did, but they did it. They farmed it out, and, you know, the government tells us now, the feds and the state, you must be transparent. In fact, all the rules coming out now, under GASB, which you don't, you know, that's the financial system and the rules, okay? You must be transparent. The public must be easily understand what is going on. So when you see something now, people are in shock and they go, oh my God, you know, you know, they could hide it, and that's what happened in the old days. Go ahead, caller.
Your buddy down there said he had a service charge. How much was your service charge for your water bill?
I gotta get my glasses on.
17, isn't it?
Where's the service charge? $21.04.
Yeah, that's about right. It went $5 and they never said anything.
Say that again?
And did you find out what I wanted to find out, Kaz?
Which one was that now?
If you didn't pay your service charge and just paid your water bill, you were supposed to research that.
You mean what they would do to you?
Yeah.
We haven't met with him yet. He's coming in shortly. When he comes in, John, I will ask him, okay?
What about asking your solicitor upstairs?
That's not the guy you want to ask, because the Water Authority's the one that's in charge.
So, and talking about the Water Authority,
Yeah, they're coming in because we got to get an update. We haven't had an update for a while now about the refuse spills.
yeah.
So when he comes in, I'll ask him. But my understanding is if you don't pay the service charge, that's part of your bill. So, you'll
But
probably...
it's a service charge, it's not a consumption use.
No, but it's all, it's like if you don't pay your interest charges on the past due bill, you're still past due.
But still, you don't pay your...
The whole bill, the way I understand the whole bill, you either have to have it paid or you have to make a payment plan.
Well, I don't know. When I worked for the utility, we never paid any service charges.
On what?
Pardon?
On what?
On anything.
Okay, here's how it works, John. I tried to explain to Mr. Stemka. Everybody, no matter where you deal with, everybody puts all their charges. They're all taken care of, whether they're hidden or out in the open. I mean, if you think when you deal with J.C. Penney or...
Yeah, but they're not 25%.
Or Target, you don't know what they are, John, because
You
they're
figure
not...
out what your water bill is and then divide that into your service charge, and that will tell you what the percentage is.
But go find out from Target what they charge. You don't know.
No, I don't have the Target. But
No.
they're not paying, they're not charging you 25%.
Look, when they farmed this out, and this was a previous council...
How many years ago?
I don't know. I don't want to... It was probably about the time... If I remember right, John, was that around early 2000, John?
Which one?
When they farmed this out to the Water Authority.
That was way back when Tullio was shuffling.
Was it that far back?
Yeah, when he was shuffling the books, then they created the Water Authority. It used to be the Water Department.
Your job is to go down to the library and find out.
Oh, I've
Not you.
No. He has.
All he has to do
knows.
is read the Tullio book, and it's all in there.
But, yeah, John, when they farmed it out, and every time it comes up for renewal...
Didn't farm it out, they created an authority.
Well, yeah, but we always collected the bills here in the treasurer's office for years.
Well, no, you used to collect them on 7th and French.
When they decided that they didn't want to do that no more, I mean, like we farmed out the refuse bills. If I remember right, we used to collect the refuse bills here and the sewer bills, right?
Yeah.
So they decided that rather than have that operation at City Hall, they farmed it out. And the people that won was the Water Authority.
True.
Okay, so from time to time, the treasurer's office or the union workers here will make a bid to take it back, but they haven't been successful, John.
Well, way back when Philippi was married, had all the equipment ready to do all their own billing.
Right, but you know what? It didn't pass, and
All that
here's the thing.
equipment sat there and was never utilized because there wasn't anybody smart enough to do it down there.
When he comes in, I'm going to ask him what his, when they bid, what they're doing, they're just dividing up the cost of collecting it. Now, you don't have to agree with what it costs them, but they are independent. They took a bid on it, and they said, this is how much we're going to charge.
Yeah, I can understand that if they charge it for all the bills, but not individually each one.
Well, John,
That is like...
John, the government right now wants transparency.
Forget
The federal...
about the government.
Wait,
You gotta
yeah,
break
it's
'em.
easy for you to say, okay? You want the Auditor General coming down here and telling you, you want to tell him like, you stand there acting like a big He-Man? You're going to tell the Auditor General?
we gotta sit
No,
down
that's
and
what you're
talk
saying,
about
Mr. Stemka.
No, we got to talk
Okay?
about it and get a solution.
You got to play the rules. When Harrisburg and Washington tell you, they audit you, they come in and they say, the new rule is they want transparency in all forms of government. You're going to see those changes in the pension plan. You're going to actually be able to understand them. That's what they want. They want the average person that doesn't have an accounting degree like me to be able to look at it and say, geez, I understand a little bit. Okay? That's what they want. And they could easily take that whole fee and say, you know what, here's your bill. And you'd be
know.
griping about how high the bill was. So now they're
It
saying,
still is high, $112.
here's your consumption fee right here, and this portion is how much we charge the city, okay? and it's passed on to you to collect that, okay? That's how it works.
Does the city get any of that fee?
I don't think we do.
Well, I think you should.
That's, when we farmed it out, we get the revenue for the water and stuff, and that's, that's the way, I'll find out in depth,
Well,
but,
the whole thing there.
but all they're doing is they're being very transparent. That's what it costs them.
They're showing the fee, but I think they should be able to charge that one fee for garbage and.
The reason why they don't is because
they can get more money.
No, John, as I told Mr. Stemka, would you rather pay, and what's yours, 21?
121, 29, 129.
Okay, do you want to pay $42 once or $21 twice? And know what you're paying on?
Well, you're almost doing that anyways.
Yeah, but here's what they're saying. They're saying the water bill, when the water bill and the sewer bill were combined, and the garbage bill,
You had to pay.
they were charging you one fee, if I remember right.
For each one.
Yeah, but I think, no, there was
Back
one.
then it was.
I think there was only one fee.
Then they changed it and they get
Wait, hang on. Mr. Stemka said one fee, right?
one fee at that
no.
time. But
That's
then
what
all
he's
of a
saying.
sudden, when this guy took over,
No,
individually.
it's not. Council wanted the sewer bill and the garbage bill separate,
Right.
okay? We wanted that because we had no hook to be able to collect the garbage bill. The hook is, it's tied into sewer. So sewer was separated. So Water Authority collects their bill and their processing fee, and all they did was split it so that it shows up, we get one, because now the half of the service fee has to be paid on your sewer and water bill. If they put the 42 and they kept it all in one bill, okay, that doesn't reflect the true thing. The true cost is half the bill is sewer and garbage, and the other half the bill is water. Okay? They don't collect, they're not the sewer authority, and they're not the garbage refuse department. They're just collecting for us. So they split that fee. That's all they're doing.
The fee is not split.
What do you mean it's not? It's 21 apiece, isn't it?
It is billed for a service fee on your water, and on your sewer, the fee is there too when you get your sewer and garbage bill.
Look, the sewer, the process, those fees are for many things. They're also for, if you don't even touch a dime of water.
They're picking fillings out of my teeth.
If you turn off your water today and you don't drink one drop and you turn it off, you still got a processing fee for the meter and everything else. That's what they call in accounting a fixed charge.
Yeah, and I like the way they fixed the charge down to Clarion, PA, instead of having it right here in Erie.
Well, man,
Like I said, they should have done it right up here at City Hall. We got a lot of empty rooms here.
Hey, a lot of banks, I'm telling you, John, we switched on the pension plan. We found a better bank out of town.
Yeah, most of your banking is done with PNC. But let's go to another.
Not all. You know what? If they're not competitive, different places are dropping local banks unless they're competitive because.
That's just with the pension fund. I'm talking about the bonds and everything else. They're all right across the street there. That's because you got a councilman whose mother-in-law is one of the directors.
We're bringing it up now.
I was going across 38th and Reed the other day.
Right.
There was Kunkel contractors digging up by the water authority, by the fire hydrant, and they did landscaping and everything else. Is this a part of her payback? Because she's with the city council?
Did we have a contract with them?
I don't know. With the water authority, they pick all kinds of people.
Well, if it's a water authority, we don't get notified what they do.
I understand it, but I noticed that there, and I noticed she's on her way out, and I do notice she's going to be the head of the COG, and that's a $45,000 job.
Well,
Plus, they have a business, and they're doing landscaping and all that, and I see they're right in front of that brand new spanking hydrant.
What I'll do is I'll check with the water authority and see if they won the bid. And if it was set out for a bid, which I believe it has to be.
It was set up for a bid. I think they select the contractor.
No, I think you have to bid them out, John.
You do?
Yeah.
But I know
That's
one
not
thing,
considered
when they did the work on Page Street, they got a wonderful contractor.
They're closing the gap on what they call professional services.
Yeah, they better close it fast.
I mean, that's for more for specialty stuff.
Like jaunts around the city of Erie.
Pardon?
Like jaunts around the city of Erie.
Yeah.
I've noticed all these fire hydrants are a disgrace. They're all rusted, and you wonder if the valves would work. Now, they just had somebody go through testing all that, and while they're doing that and blowing the streets all the hell, why didn't they paint them while they were doing that testing?
Couldn't tell you, John.
I know it. It's just because somebody else has to come in. And one last thing. Actually, I got two things. This deal with Brennan wants to take $300,000 and put it in a restricted account. Is this man nuts or what?
Why? What do you mean?
We have more money that can be diverted for various things other than putting it in a restricted account. I mean, we need...
Well, here's what he had in mind.
I mean, this is just a ploy for politics.
Here's what he had in mind. We get complaints all the time about lack of beat patrols consistently on State Street, or we get the lack of...
Putting money in a restricted account isn't going to cure that.
Yes, it is. Here's what you have to do, John.
How would that restrict it?
If you put money into the general budget, okay?
Yes.
And it can be used for any one of the things that we authorized.
That's true.
Okay? Now, I'll give you an example. When I was on the school board, we wanted computers. Okay? We were behind in computer technology. This was many years ago. So they put $1 million to $1.5 million strictly dedicated to buying computers. So that money couldn't be commingled. Just like here at City Hall, when I suggest that we do $1 million, $1.5 million of taxes or some, whatever we decide, if we ever do this, just for street repair, that means the mayor and nobody else can take that money and do anything with it than what it's intended for. Okay? That's not unusual. All right? We do, when we pass the budget, a certain portion of the revenue that we collect in the millage goes into debt reduction. That's guaranteed. We make sure that we pay off our old debt that's due. Okay, John?
I'm listening.
So if you just say, well, we just want to take $300,000, put it in here, and it's commingled. What he wanted to do was say, we want this money per council edict to be used for either patrols on State Street, beat patrols in neighborhoods, whatever. Like years ago, we had the bike patrol, maybe bringing that back.
That is back.
Yeah, but no, it's not, John.
Yeah, they had a couple last summer.
Yeah, you know what? When prior to this program, we had about 6 to 7, maybe 8 guys at one time that were regularly doing that. The only time they bring them out now is for Celebrate Erie and a couple other special events. But we used to have regular guys, but that was their job. They patrolled every day. We got most of the bikes are in the basement.
That's true.
You can go down there and watch them. They're never used. We want, like David and I and some councilmen are saying, it's time we brought back some, if we could, to do that. Earmark some money for that. Also, he wanted to earmark some money for, rather than for the county to do it, maybe hiring a few more kids during the summer.
To hire enough people.
Put some kids out there to cut lawns and grass that we need done. But
Obama's given those people more than enough.
But, to say that we can't, if we don't earmark money, that's part of council's prerogative, is to make sure the money goes where we want it to go.
That's why you have a general budget, and that's why you bring it up before council, and you take the money out of the general budget. That's why you have a surplus.
John, did you ever see an appropriation ordinance?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah, you appropriate X amount of dollars for X amount of services. And if you run out, what do you do?
No, specific services.
It's the same thing right now. You're running down at the end of the year, you have money left over, and you tell all these departments, spend the money or you'll lose it for next year's appropriations. Is that right?
I never said that.
Well, but isn't that right? That's what all industry does.
My department turned in money every year, and you can go back and check. My department, controller's department, turned in money every year. It went back into the general fund which gets carried over year after year. We
Well,
have approximately 8 million in there now, so.
Because
Pardon?
when I work, I get a phone call, you got $300,000, spend it or you won't get it appropriated in your next year's budget with more.
I can guarantee you that it hasn't happened under, this I can tell you, it has never happened under Joe Sinnott's administration.
That's right, and I hope Joe has his pencil ready for when that comes up, and if it passes city council, they reject it.
People are urged to try to save money, you know. It's to the benefit of the city if we can come under budget.
Well, I don't see where this fund there is going to benefit the city of Erie. I see a fund that will go for the streets.
No, what he wants to do is he wanted to take, he said initially 5% out of everything what they call below the line items. That's non-payroll, because we cannot go against the what do you call it, the salaries and everything that's already been set up. And
That's true.
so what we're talking about, non-essential items like travel, pens and pencils, all that stuff, service contracts.
With the
Everybody.
police department here coming up shortly, they're going to let them go and learn how to march for funerals. Don't give them the money.
Who's that?
Police department. They'll be sending 4 or 5 officers down to learn how to march at funerals for other slain officers throughout the county or the state. Or
Where did that come up?
it came up. You were sitting right there during the negotiations or when they were discussing it. Call the chief and ask him. The FOP and the chief is going to take money that's deemed for overtime to send these officers down to be trained.
To March?
Pardon?
To March?
To learn how to react at a funeral.
That's a new one on me, John. I'm going to check on
I
that.
guess I'm in the know more than you are.
How did you watch negotiations?
Well,
Somebody told you, right?
I'm just telling you what's happening. Is the finalization going to be on tonight?
That's why I keep it. It's not tonight.
It's tomorrow, right?
I thought it was tonight.
No. Tomorrow, I think, really.
Okay.
Yeah,
I understood it was tonight.
But that's why I keep you around, John, because you're good at that stuff. But
I have one other quick thing.
What's
I
that?
saw a brand new spanking dumpster flying on reeling towards Balboa today, and if he got a little quicker, he would have rolled it. You better tell the department to have their drivers slow down.
did you get a number?
I didn't get the number, but I don't think you have too many white dumpsters. And this was around 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock when? This morning?
Morning.
Unreeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reeling and Balboa and that section.
Yeah, I turned in your complaint to the Public Works Director. I just saw him 3 minutes ago about the water not being coming out of those trucks.
Yeah.
So, we'll
I
see.
didn't have to worry today. It's raining.
That's true.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.
You too, John. His Giants must have lost this week. He was not in a good mood.
One more thing I had to bring up is about
We got to get Corey on yet.
those dumpsters,
Yeah,
those truck accidents. What's happening there?
they're under investigation.
Well, that's, people are calling when you don't hear nothing what's going on, out in the public, and they like to know what's going on.
There have been some. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, guys. Do you know if the city council meeting from December 2nd is going to be shown, or has it been censored, or?
No, it should be on.
No, it hasn't been on.
I'll have Mike check on it for me.
Well, I called today at Channel 9, and the lady said they're still working on it.
Maybe was there a problem, Mike?
It's on there now. We had the budget thing right after the last council meeting. It screwed me up.
Yeah, this is going to be on again. He said they were putting the budget meetings on there, so.
Yeah, why they've been running the budget meetings since November the 18th. That's almost 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, he said they'll be on again December 2nd, and then I think all the back ones you can get all the other ones anyway, right?
I don't have a computer.
Oh, you don't? You don't have one, you said?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
The last one's been scheduled. It's on there. It'll play now.
You're going to play the December 2nd one then, right?
Yeah, it's in there now.
Okay, he said it'll be on shortly.
Will it be on tonight?
DJ, can you find out for me? It's a little hard when I'm talking to but yeah, we'll find out for you.
Will it be on at 7 o'clock tonight?
Well, I'll find.
Scheduled?
I have somebody checking with the engineer in the back. Yeah, if you have a computer, it makes it a lot nicer. You can get all the old meetings and.
Yeah. I don't know, but I've been looking for December 2nd and waiting.
Yeah, no, they don't censor anything here. That's not. That happened in a previous administration, but it hasn't happened lately.
Well, I haven't.
Because if it was, I'd be thrown off the air a couple times, I think.
Other meetings have not had to wait this long because they're going to have a new one. They'll have a new one on Wednesday, right? The day after tomorrow's a new meeting.
It's going to be on tonight.
At 7? He said it'd be on tonight at 7.
Thanks a lot, Cass.
Okay, no problem. Corey, you want to say something? You've been quiet over
I've
there.
been quiet.
I'm just enjoying the show.
Oh,
Look, I got the best seat in the house.
We had to get you going today.
pardon? Yeah.
We had to get you going.
No, you. Just bring your A game. Remember that. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. Oop, I guess. Christmas is coming up. You want to push your book?
Yeah, that's right. For anybody that hasn't picked it up yet, I wrote a book called Lou Tullio, A Real Erie Guy. It's the most comprehensive, authoritative tract on Tullio's time here in office. And if you were to read that, you would find that a lot of the issues that the city still deals with are rooted in Tullio's time, like especially the Water Authority. If you want to catch that call, we can come back and talk about it.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what is the parking authority, whoever is in charge of illegal parking on the street, illegal parking from these stores that say no parking, fire lane, and they park there anyway? A very good example is Walmart on Elm Street over here.
Yeah.
I go by there 2-3 times a day. I look down there and there's 4 or 5 cars parked there, fire lane, and now it's getting just as bad as up at Tops on 38th Street. No parking, fire lane, and people are parking there. Maybe they should start ticketing these people in the world. Get out. You're not supposed to park there.
The parking authority, now the police can do it, but the parking authority generally has been the people that have been tagging, the parking regulations, only because it makes it easier on the police. But
the parking authority does leave downtown Erie, though, do they?
Yeah, they go up. They're up at on my side of town. They're up by the Mercier's College at Briggs and Lewis.
Yeah.
They will come. They go down to my mother's house down around Perry School area. They do a lot of the enforcement wherever you have odd even parking. So they do get outside the downtown area. They used to go out a lot further, but they don't have the manpower any longer.
Hey.
But
is it not illegal to park the wrong way on the side of the street?
yeah, it's supposed to be. You don't often see it.
You go all over town, you see people parked the wrong way on the side of the streets.
Yeah, in the old days, they actually used to tag people a lot more than they do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the theory is that if you parked the wrong way, you had to go the wrong way up the street, or the wrong lane. So.
Yeah.
But when you talk about you're talking about the fire lanes, I'll check. I'm the liaison to the parking authority, so I'll bring it up to them.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them. There used to be a thing that if you got in an accident in a parking lot of a Kmart, the police usually didn't come in there.
Oh.
Unless it was really severe or somebody got hurt, because that was considered like private property.
Okay.
But now the fire lanes, I think, are a whole different issue, because that's probably done by city council ordinance.
Uh-huh.
So I think the fire department or the police department, maybe even the parking authority, could probably enforce that. I do know that when I used to go shopping in Harbor Creek out there, at that Kmart a couple times, you would see the state police actually tag cars in the fire lanes.
The state police and the Harbor Creek code enforcement.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, they may have it set up so that people can do that.
Yeah.
Like in Erie, we have the parking authority is deputized
Look at
to
the
do that.
income that you could probably bring in illegal parking like that.
See, a lot of the stores don't want to raise a hassle because,
Exactly.
you know, they figure if the people are sitting in there warmer, you know.
Yeah,
But
they're
when
spending money in their store.
I had a guy one time tell me, I remember this, I was laughing my head off. I used to work for the parking authority when I was in college, and we had fire lanes too, you know. And I'd say, can't park there. He goes, why? There's no fire. And he, real cocky, like, you know. I said, so you can tell me when there'll be a fire, right? So when you leave your car here, I can, you know, you'll come back right when the fire starts, you know. No, that's the attitude you get out of people. I mean, they don't think that.
You're right. You're right.
You know, they're blocking a fire lane. If the fire department has to come in there, you know. How about the stadium? You know, did you ever go to the stadium in Erie? Down to the old football stadium on 26th Street?
Oh, yeah.
There's a turnaround there. It's supposed to be for emergency vehicles. Try it sometime. You know, if they don't keep it cleaned out, I mean, that's how people got the wrong attitude today about, you know, it's a me generation that, you know, it's okay for me to park there for 2 minutes.
Right.
But, you know,
What store is going in there at 26th and East Avenue?
26th and East Avenue?
Yeah, I mean,
Across from Country Fair. It used to be the old
that was
Goodwill
that
store.
second-hand store or something.
Oh, that one.
They're
You know, I'm not sure.
fixing it up pretty nice.
I go by there a lot, and you know, and I haven't. I'll see if I can find out for you.
That looks like it's going to be another drugstore possibly by the shape of the outside.
They had something down there once. It was called. It was kind of like a second-hand store afterwards.
Yeah, after
Even after Goodwill left.
Another, like a little convenience store type thing went in there, and they're putting a lot of money into that building now. But
Country Fair moved out, didn't they?
no, they're still there, 26th East Avenue.
They just took the gas. Wait, or yeah, that's right. So, who was? Oh, the drugstore moved out of there. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I'm concerned about that. No parking on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah, good luck in trying to get them enforced a lot of times, but
Yeah.
I'll bring it up to.
But look at the income you can get. Maybe what they should do is one day a week go out in the inner city or southeast area where I live and tag these people. Maybe the word will get around. Give the people on the parking meters a break for a day.
Well, you know, like where I live, you got all the kids are parked all over the place. They don't care.
Exactly.
You know where they park. They're on sidewalks, right of ways, and.
You're right. I agree. Okay. Have a good holiday, guys.
You too.
You know, talking about the parking authority, Kaz, I have a couple of questions for you on that. How profitable is the parking authority?
Well, they've never come to the city for money.
Mm-hmm.
They pay off all their debts, and they have numerous. I mean, you know. Go ahead, caller.
That's going to be a Dollar Tree on 26th and East Avenue.
Oh, really? That's pretty good news.
Yeah, I was talking to someone. I was in Family Dollar, and the kid said he was told that, you know, that's what it's going to be. So.
Well, that's not, they're all over town now, but that'll be nice for the area. That'll be a little boost.
Yeah, that's what he told me it was going to be. It looks like it's shaping up to be something like that.
Yeah, I hope so, because we need the more things we have, the better it is.
Yeah, it'll probably open. I bet you it'll open up around the first of the year.
I'll keep an eye on it, but hey, thanks for calling.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, the parking authority not only gives the city money every year, you know, for their parking tax and for us doing various services for them, but go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, I noticed the garbage trucks down here, and I don't know why I recycle, because they throw my garbage and the recycle stuff right in the same bin.
They say, you know, I got to ask about that again, because they tell me that's not a dual compartment truck, right?
Well, the thing is, it was all white in the back end of it. And another thing is,
It's a white truck, you said?
the back end part of it was white, where they throw the garbage in.
Yeah.
And another thing, that thing come flying down my street and went into the circle, and there's two guys hanging on the back end. He was really moving.
Did you get his number?
No, he was moving too fast.
What street was that up near?
On East East 40th in the circle there.
Okay. I'll check on that because I'm getting a lot of complaints about, obviously we did have a problem with somebody going too fast one time.
Oh, these
Although I don't know because I'm not part of the investigation, but.
if these guys weren't holding on tight, they would have fell off. Been another accident.
Yeah, I remember when I worked for the Park Authority, we had to salt by hand. We didn't have salters on the back. And boy, we had to be super careful when you had somebody in the back. Because, you could really mess somebody up permanently.
And another thing, if you run for office,
Yeah.
and you have a 4-year term limit?
No, you have, you can run 3 terms, 4 years apiece. You can only serve 12 years in one office consecutively.
Okay.
And then you can sit down and run again.
Can you take and be off a year?
Well, here's the bad thing about the term limit law. If you're the mayor, if you're the controller, or you're the treasurer, and you run 3 terms, you have to sit down for 4 years to run again for any one of them.
Oh, okay. You have to be out of there for 4 years and then run?
Right, but the mayor usually doesn't run again. Most mayors had enough.
Yeah.
We had enough.
But if you were a treasurer or controller, you might want to run again. You have to wait 4 years. Now, councilmen, of which I'm a part, have an unfair advantage. They can sit down only 2 years, run on the off year, and then you're running against not one person, but you're running against 3 or 4. So it's kind of like, it's really, an unfair, I could see if, when they passed that rule, if they wanted to keep the mayor and councilmen out, that would have been okay. But when you get to what I call the specialty offices like treasurer and controller, they don't make policy. They're more specialists. They really don't, like over at the county, they don't mess with those offices. They don't have term limits on those.
So it all depends what office you're in that you can run like a 2-year term or you have to be off 4 years.
Well, yeah, see, unfortunately, there's only one treasurer, one controller, and one mayor.
Yeah.
So you have to wait 4 years.
Okay.
But council and school boards, because you don't want to lose everybody in one sweep or something like that, they split them. Like 1 year, 4 councilmen will run, and then 3 councilmen. Or on the school board, 5 will run and 4 will run every 2 years. So basically, if you sit down there, that's your gap. You can sit down 2 years and run again.
Well, getting back to this garbage thing.
Yes.
It's East 40th by the Bayfront Highway. So there's only one East 40th in a circle. But maybe they could get the cops. I mean, I know they're busy at nighttime, but they should be sitting up there, and you wouldn't believe how fast these guys were moving.
The garbage trucks, you mean?
Right.
Yeah, and they're top heavy. They got to be careful.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't turn over as fast as he was going. I was surprised.
The guys on my street are pretty. I don't see them speeding or.
I can't believe that you have to separate your garbage and they throw everything in the same truck.
Well, I'm going to ask about that again. In fact, I'll call the refuse department and ask them myself.
Yeah, because it was not a separated truck, as you could tell. He just throws everything right in there.
Because I get 2 trucks every night. I get one. I hear them one with the. I don't know which one they pick up first.
Well, that's what we used to have. We used to have one that picks up the cans and that, and another truck would come later on, like about 12 o'clock.
I don't know if they have a dual hopper truck. I'll check though.
Yeah.
Some towns have dual hopper trucks, like.
They pay these guys by the hour. They got to punch a clock in and out. I knew the years before they got done that an hour or 2
I believe
early.
those kids get a flat rate, and they work as hard as they can.
Instead
They work hard, I know that.
Instead of working 8 hours, they may work
Yeah,
5
but I
hours.
think if they want stuff recycled, then that's what they should do.
Yep.
Throw in the garbage in with it.
Yeah, we got to pay for our recycling, but we get a little bit less. It goes up every year. People don't understand. We got to pay. We actually pay them to take our recycling because.
Well, don't you get reimbursed for some of that recycling stuff?
What they do is there's a fee for them to see. We don't. In other towns, they put them in containers and they're all nice and. We put all recyclables in a bag, whatever they are. Where some towns you got to put the plastic and the cans and different. But with us, we don't do it that way. So what they do is they charge us to do that, but we get money back from how much, a little bit from how much they make to sell that. So our fee is like reduced slightly, but we got to pay because we don't, what used to be called source recycling right at the spot. Like sometimes you get a little, you ever see them, they got little buckets, you got to put cans in one flattened, you got to put plastic in another one, papers in a separate place.
Oh, they do that in Mill Creek.
Yeah, but see, we don't, so.
Well, if they would throw more recyclables where they belong, maybe a city would be making some money on it.
Well, the problem is, though, see, we can take our bag and, like me, I'll put cans in the same bag, and I'll put, they don't tell you can't do it, so plastic and cans and everything goes in the same bag.
Right.
Whereas sometimes you can't do that. You have to, each one has to be separate.
Well, they throw the papers and the garbage and the tin cans all in the same truck. That's pretty bad. Okay, thank you.
Okay, getting back to your question, their biggest expense, of course, is capital, like bond, parking meters and parking ramps.
Right.
And so they do pay all their bills. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, my name's Mary Ann.
Yes.
I've called about the issuance of the pet licenses.
Right.
Okay, now, I don't want any answers. I'm not asking for that today. But my reason for calling is, in yesterday's paper, there's an article about the 2016 dog license. And it's on page 6, the Erie section.
Right.
Down at the bottom, at the right-hand corner. And after reading this, my husband and I, we really don't know what to believe. Because I don't know if you can get a hold of a copy of it, but it's there. And according to this, we still should be able to get our license from the place that we've been getting it from.
Oh, you're the lady that called me, right?
I am.
Okay.
And but all I know is Friday, she still had the sign on her door. You could not get them there because of what they had been told. But according to this, and it even mentioned that you could still really, I believe, from the way it's worded, that you could pick one up from the Anna shelter, which...
oh, you're not the lady that got them at Charlene's, were you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, because the Anna shelter, I think I heard, nobody told me for sure, but I was told they no longer carry them by their own decision. But I will check. You know what? I'll go upstairs right after this meeting, and I'll talk to, see what I can find out. And because, like I told you, council knew nothing about this, and I still expect an answer about why it was taken away from Charlene's.
Wait, this is what was in yesterday's Sunday Times.
But I was told the Anna shelter doesn't want to handle it no more.
Well, and I understood that.
Yeah, that I think, but I'm not sure. I'll find out for you.
Okay, but like I said, here that thing is in yesterday's paper, and you start thinking, I don't know what to believe.
Well, yeah, that's something's amiss. Now I got to find out who put that in the paper.
It's in the paper in black and white.
Okay, I can get a copy upstairs. They keep one in one of the offices, so I'll take a look. It was yesterday's paper, right?
On page 6.
Okay, I'll go upstairs and check.
On the Erie section.
I will go upstairs right after we get done here.
Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, bye.
I feel bad for this woman. She's... unilateral decision was made, but nobody knows who did it. Now they're all...
Right.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz. I don't know if you read the Sunday paper yesterday, the Where's the Snow article. Did you read that?
No, I get my paper. I spent most of the day yesterday putting lights up and stuff, so I didn't get to read it. I'll probably read it today. What did it say, though?
Let me read you a quote. This is ridiculous. I got to pull it out here. 1 second. But Farriers was commenting on the lack of snow.
Right.
And this was ridiculous. Give me 1 minute, I guess. It's on 11A. going to read you the exact quote of what this guy says. All right. Okay, he says, he's talking about reordering all the salt and shovels and all that. He says, last year I had to order this twice by now. What we need now is just some snow. A nice, good ice storm would do us good. Is this guy kidding? He's got to have marbles in his head.
From Farriers?
Yeah. He's praying for an ice storm?
I won't wish that on anybody, let me tell you.
My God. I mean, Kaz, some of these, the ski resorts aren't doing good. Some of these little, businesses, they're not selling shovels and salt. Do you realize how much money we are saving on roads, on salt, on overtime for snowplow drivers?
How about the gas in our houses?
It's not saving.
How about the gas in your furnace right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're saving, just in the county, we're saving probably millions of dollars, and this guy is wishing for an ice storm?
Yeah, no, I don't want that, because you know what? That means people get hurt, and that's,
Well, it has, and somewhere else in this article, they said, last winter was great. How many people had died last year? They found one guy frozen on a porch, another guy fell down drunk in the snow, and he died.
My mother, she's out there, well, she'll get mad at me, but she's out there shoveling snow at her age, and I get mad at her. I said, they're not going to throw you in jail, because there's many elected officials in the past or present and the future don't shovel their walks, let alone, many leading, citizens and businesses. Yep. And there's my mother, and she broke her leg one year, And I'm going, oh my God, and like this guy says, winter's bad,
Definitely.
Right now I want my kids to get up here for Christmas, and if it's going to snow, wait till, lightly for the rest of the year, But I agree with you, sir.
This winter has been, it's not even winter yet. This late fall has been a blessing. Anybody wishing for snow or ice, they got to have their head examined.
We're going to get a little snow, but I don't like, when you start talking about ice and everything, and that people get hurt. There's people out there that, they slip and.
Well, hey, one down winter isn't going to kill Peak and Pete. One down winter isn't going to kill Farriers or Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah, I don't know how many shovels and salt they,
As you know, our roads are bad around here. We need a break. This is a godsend. We just got to count our blessings with this.
That's true.
Oh, I heard a long-range forecast. It may be this way through February.
The way my flowers are blooming, you can sell me some fertilizer.
Yeah, I cut some flowers yesterday in my yard.
Yeah, I got roses. What the heck's that all about?
Global warming.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's like I said, it's anybody wishing for snow, that's just ridiculous, but I'll let somebody else talk. I'll talk to you guys later.
But yeah, the Park Authority as well. They've never, in fact, they've lent the city money on 2 occasions. When we tore out the Transaway Mall, that was them.
Yeah, that came from them.
And they built that behind the Renaissance building, that parking ramp.
The garage, yeah.
That was matching funds for the baseball park to leverage money. So
right.
They've been a good citizen. They paid their bills. They do their job. I guess if they have people look at them like, how dare you? Well, Ronnie would be the first one. Right. How dare you charge, the park? How dare you charge as much as you do? But you know what? They got bills, and I go to the meetings. They pay them. They got costs that people here wanted parking ramps. Elected officials, so they had to build them. Go ahead, caller.
It seems like you have the right idea about the $300,000 Brennan wants to put into the safety of the city. I think it's a great idea. Please pursue it. I don't know where John was coming from. He usually heads up.
Well, I think he was offended when we said look, they got overtime in their budget, and they have their budget. But when President Brennan there was sitting around and looking at it, he said, you know what, there's always a little bit of something in those budgets. Maybe it's not 5%, maybe it's a little less, but every department has a little bit of built in, you know. And all he said was, why don't we put some money, you know, people tell us all the time about they would like Beekman back, or they would, you know, especially downtown and during certain events, and he said, to guarantee that, we would have to, you know, say to the chief, here's the money, but it can only be used for that. And that was the purpose of what he had in mind. Not commingling it with all the other money. Because then you leave it up to the discretion of, you know, the chief, and he wanted to say, he wanted to direct it towards a certain purpose.
Well, I hope you have enough support. I hope you have enough support to pursue this, because anything you can do to stop some of the violence in the city is very, very important. And that's all I have to say.
Well, thank you. And, you know, long term, though, we got to get the cooperation of nonprofits. That would go a long way to help us.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Going back to the parking authority.
Yeah.
I don't know if many people know this, but in, I want to say it was the early 60s or maybe the late 50s, Mayor Williamson made an attempt to remove the parking meters from downtown, and for whatever reason that didn't pass. But I might be on the same side as Mr. Stemka here. Why you are making people who come downtown to do business and to shop put a quarter in the meter, it's just beyond me. You know, I don't think there's anything more business friendly than saying, come downtown, it's free to park. Keep the ramps. You know, do that thing. If you want to park in the ramp and pay the money, you do that. But street meters, I think they should rip them all out, sell them to a salvage company, get rid of every person that drives one of them little red cars that we all hate, and, you know, buy them out early retirement.
Actually, I'm going to play devil's advocate, because I've been on both sides of the fence. I know Ronnie gets mad when I do this, but little towns have done it kind of successfully. Mm-hmm. Most of your big cities, and I've seen very few that have ripped them out, okay?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
They serve as a deterrent. Number one, you can't, no matter how businesses try, and it happens here at City Hall. We got employees that park around City Hall. They're not supposed to, but that's what happens, okay? So downtown, when Williamson was mayor, and Lou, downtown was a lot different.
Right.
Okay, you had a lot of workers down here, a lot of department stores. Not a lot of parking ramps in those days.
That's right.
At that time, there was only two. When I started, there was the one at Peach Street, then they built the other one behind the Carlisle, and then they built the other one behind First National Bank at that time. They didn't have all the ramps they do today, so you had surface lots, okay, but people still love to park in front of the store. A lot of merchants actually like parking meters. And when I worked for a company on 13th Street, we had the post office across the street. Their workers would take the cheapest meters, because they were different levels,
right,
and park there all day. We had no place for our customers. Okay, so a lot of businesses like it, you know, and what some of them will do, they'll give you a quarter, or they'll give you, in the old days, they used to have tokens.
Right, they still do. You can buy a roll of tokens. I believe there's a discount.
But I mean, the businesses used to give them out sometimes. You know, and that was like, you know, an encouragement. But if you didn't have it downtown, you would have like people who live in the apartments. They'd park there all day, or you know, people just in, you know, college kids could park there. You know, walk over to the dorms, whatever.
Right, or leave your car there for 3 weeks.
So you know, parking meters was a way in downtowns of how you control spaces. Nobody likes it, you know. That's why they want to go to the credit card thing now, you know. But you know, there's a pro and a con about taking. You know, if it was so, here's what could happen: the merchants, if they really complained, could actually build their own parking lots and run them.
Right. Sure.
Okay. When you go to a mall, do you get free parking?
Yeah.
No. You think you do. Okay. It's free because you ride in there and park, right?
This is
Christmas.
the Christmas edition of Taxpayer Hotline.
5-minute warning. No presents for you.
That's good.
You been bad this year?
I'm always bad.
Oh, this is great. I've been looking forward to it. I know exactly what it is.
5 minutes.
But,
The pros and cons of removing them. Yeah, there's some pros, but there's also, as you're saying, some cons.
but a lot of, some places, like when you go to the Mall of America, they got a parking ramp.
Sure.
But who do you think pays for it? I mean, indirectly?
Right.
I've been to hospitals, get free parking. But you're paying for it in your bill. This is where we get back to transparency, Ron, okay?
Give them the 1 minute.
All costs of the business. No business ever gives you nothing, I can remember when there was one guy his name was Dewey. He was going to build his own parking ramp. He couldn't get a loan to do it. It was so huge, But who do you think was the first one? There's a little trivia for you now, Corey, and you. Who was the first one to charge for parking that was not a municipality? Now, you better think on this one, because I know
locally?
Yeah.
Before my time.
No, it wasn't.
How about the air?
You just forgot.
Would it be an airport?
It was a business downtown. Ready? Sears.
Oh.
You remember where Sears was? Where were they?
Down at baseball fields.
Right. Do you remember the big parking lot? Do you remember the little booths they had at each end? Why were they there? If you shopped at Sears, what'd you get?
You got it free.
Right. If you bought something, I think.
And if you didn't, you had to be charged.
So, everything, you pay for everything, but, if if the city was to do that, that'd be fine, but then you get complaints that, what do you do with the enforcement issue,
Like I said, I hate to be bringing that water bill up, but like I said, there's a lot of people just barely making ends meet, and you add all this extra stuff. Like I said, if it's $35, let's maybe say we get $35 per bill, just say for figures, 10,000 homes for a figure. That we on?
Ron, you always paid that fee. The difference was it was buried in your bill.
Wow.
To think that you weren't paying it before is what do you call that? A Pyrrhic dream. You're fighting over a Pyrrhic victory.
Santa says you have 1 minute.
Santa? I'm the dark Santa. We're going to let Corey.
Santa.
Corey gets it. Corey, you want to say your...
Yeah, I'll just give you the last spiel about the Tullio book. You can find it at Wegmans, Claudine's Consignment, the Jefferson Educational Society, or online at jeserie.org/Tullio. A lot of the things that we talk about, including the Water Authority and the Parking Authority, they do have their roots in Tullio's time and even previous to mayors like Williamson and Gardner. So pick it up, makes a great gift. No Erie bookshelf is complete without it.
And if you catch Corey at the right time, he might even...
I'll give you a thumbprint or a wax seal on it if you like, any of those things, or I could sign it.
There's so many books out locally now that it's...
There's a lot of great books about Erie out right now. Dr. David Frew writes about 5 a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Some of them are about crime, and some are about... But
mostly about shipwrecks. You have the Pizza Bomber book. You have the Ash Wednesday book. I understand Palatella and Jerry Clark just wrote a book about bank robberies or heists. So there's a lot of good local Erie history, and I'm currently working on a book about the time of Mayor Savacchio. So we're getting all this stuff down. And
I think I decided, I think maybe you and I are going to have we're going to be the Garrison Kyler of Erie. We're going to talk about Lake Wobegon.
Erie Home Companion?
Yeah.
All right.
But, hey.
I'm not even here, but you're done.
We are.
It's over.
Nope, we're still here. So on behalf of myself, Ronnie, Corey, we'll hopefully see you here, and DJ, there you are. We'll see you next week.
Outstanding.
It's over with, buddy. It's over with.
You know what's in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.